Have you ever imagined sleeping in a place where even the air feels like gold? A space so extravagant that simply opening a window makes you feel part of something bigger, a dream materialized in the middle of the desert. This place exists, and its name is Burj Al Arab, the most expensive and luxurious hotel on the planet, an icon that redefined the concept of hospitality and put Dubai on the map as the epicenter of modern luxury. But what makes a night in this paradise cost tens of thousands of dollars? And what lies behind this glitz that attracts millionaires, celebrities, and kings from all over the world? Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you view luxury, status, and even success itself. Burj Al Arab, it's not just a hotel, it's a statement, a living sculpture of power built on an artificial island in the middle of the Persian Gulf. It was designed to resemble a sail inflated by the wind, symbolizing the bold spirit of a nation determined to challenge the impossible. When it opened in 1999, the world couldn't believe its eyes. A sail-shaped skyscraper rising above the sea, surrounded by water and mystery, with interiors covered in gold and Italian marble. But what few people know is that the Burj Al Arab was born from an almost insane idea. At a time when Dubai was still trying to prove to the world that it wasn't just an oil-rich desert, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum decided to build something that represented the ambition and courage of his people. He wanted a symbol, something that couldn't be ignored. The result? A structure that would become one of the most photographed landmarks on the planet, the ultimate symbol of Arab luxury and innovation. While most hotels compete for stars, the Burj Al Arab calls itself the only 7-star hotel in the world, an unofficial title that reflects the surreal experience of those who set foot there. From the moment you arrive, nothing is ordinary. Guests are greeted with warm scented towels, saffron tea, and a golden Rolls-Royce that whisks them across the exclusive bridge to the hotel. Inside, time seems to slow down. Fountains dance, the floor gleams with golden mosaics, and the faint scent of incense fills the air, all designed to evoke a sense of royalty. But the luxury of the Burj Al Arab isn't just aesthetic, it's psychological. It makes you feel part of a world where the impossible becomes routine, where the coffee comes with flecks of gold and the service is so impeccable it seems to anticipate your desires before you even express them. And perhaps that's what makes it so fascinating, the fact that it sells not just a stay, but an experience of transcendence, a reminder that true wealth lies not in money alone, but in the human capacity to dream and create something extraordinary. As the sun sets and reflects off the hotel's golden windows, it's impossible not to wonder how something like this emerged amidst the sand and scorching heat. How a country that only a few decades ago lived off fishing and the pearl trade became an empire of innovation, luxury, and global power. And that's exactly where the story begins to get even more interesting. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because understanding the Burj Al Arab is to understand the mindset that built modern Dubai, a city that dared to transform the desert into a stage for the impossible. As you imagine this scene, the sun's reflection, spreading across the golden walls of the Burj Al Arab, the distant sound of waves crashing against the artificial island, and the feeling that the impossible has truly been achieved, it's impossible not to think about the power of human vision to transform dreams into reality. And perhaps that's why stories like this inspire us so much, because deep down, we all have an inner desert that we want to transform into something great. And if this topic resonates with you, if this journey between luxury and self-improvement somehow piques your curiosity or makes you rethink what wealth truly is, I invite you to actively participate in this conversation. Leave a comment below about what's impressed you most so far. The immeasurable luxury, the courage to build the impossible, or the mindset behind it all. Your opinion is what brings this channel to life. It's what transforms a simple video into a space for ideas, reflections, and discoveries. And of course, if you enjoy delving into stories that go beyond appearances, revealing the behind the scenes of power, culture, and human transformation, don't forget to leave a like. This helps YouTube understand that this type of content resonates with you and showcases it to more people who also seek to understand the world more deeply. And if you're new here, take advantage and subscribe. That way you can continue this journey with me, exploring not only the most fascinating destinations on the planet, but also the stories that make them unique. Each video is an invitation to see the world through new eyes, and the next one may surprise you even more. Now get ready, because what comes next will reveal something that few know. What really makes the Burj Al Arab considered the ultimate symbol of world luxury, and what it represents about the mindset of a nation that decided to make the impossible a reality. They say some dreams are so big they need an entire city to sustain them, and the Burj Al Arab was born from that very idea. In the 1990s, Dubai was still a city in transition, a blend of Bedouin tradition and modern ambition. It was the dawn of an era when oil was no longer the sole fuel of progress, and true power was beginning to be measured by the ability to imagine the impossible. It was in this context that Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum decided that Dubai needed a symbol, not just a building, but a global icon, something that would make the world look at the desert and see not the void, but the future. The vision was bold, to build a hotel that would be instantly recognizable, like the Eiffel Tower in Paris or the Statue of Liberty in New York. But in Dubai, the impossible isn't an obstacle, it's an invitation. Thus began the Burj Al Arab project, a structure so ambitious it seemed to defy the very laws of nature. The chosen location was the sea. Yes, the world's most luxurious hotel would be built not on dry land, but on an artificial island 280 meters offshore, as if floating on the waters of the Persian Gulf. For 5 years, engineers and architects worked on one of the most complex projects in modern history. The sail-shaped structure was not just an aesthetic choice, but a symbol of Dubai's maritime heritage, a reminder that before oil, trade and fishing were the lifeblood of the Arab people. Every line of the building was designed to capture the wind, light, and a sense of movement, as if the hotel itself were sailing into the future. But the Burj Al Arab wasn't just made of concrete and steel. It was made of a mentality, from a deep belief that greatness is not a matter of size, but of purpose. Sheikh Mohammed wanted to prove to the world that luxury is not exclusive to the West, that the East could also set trends, create icons, and challenge the status quo. And that's what happened. When the Burj Al Arab opened in 1999, the world watched in astonishment as a country that, just a few decades earlier, had been a fishing village transformed into a synonym for innovation, sophistication, and power. The curious thing is that for many, the Burj Al Arab represents the beginning of a new era for Dubai, the moment when the desert ceased to be just sand and became the stage for one of the most impressive transformations in modern history. Behind every detail, from the gold-plated interiors to the personalized service that treats each guest like royalty, lies a silent philosophy. Show the world what happens when a nation decides to believe in its own dream. Building the Burj Al Arab was like trying to build a dream in the middle of the ocean, and in a way that's exactly what happened. Imagine the challenge, transforming an almost poetic idea, a sail-shaped hotel floating on the sea, into a real, solid, and safe structure. The engineering behind this project was not only complex, it was revolutionary. To support the world's most luxurious hotel over the waters of the Persian Gulf, engineers dug 230 concrete pillars deep into the sand at the bottom of the sea, creating a foundation so firm that the building seemed to defy nature itself. It was like planting the roots of a dream in impossible terrain. Each stage of construction seemed like a gamble against logic. The artificial island, made of rocks and sand, took 3 years to complete. Even before the first floor of the hotel began to rise, wind, tides, and extreme salinity were invisible enemies, capable of corroding metal and eroding structures. But Dubai is not the kind of place to back down in the face of an obstacle. The country invested in most advanced technology in the world, importing corrosion-resistant materials, testing techniques that until then existed only in theory. Everything there was, thought out down to the smallest detail, with a precision bordering on obsession. The hotel's interior follows the same logic of perfection. From the marble floors flown in from Italy to the hand-woven rugs from Egypt and India, Each piece was chosen as if it were part of a living work of art. The Burj Al Arab is not just a building, it is a statement of purpose. It reflects the mindset of a people who believe that luxury lies not only in gold, but in decision to never accept the limit of the possible. And there's something fascinating about this. Nothing there was built by chance. The curvature of the facade was calculated to reflect the sunlight in golden hues at dawn and deep blue at dusk, as if the building breathed along with the sea. The internal atrium, the tallest in the world, was designed to create a sense of ascension, as if each step the visitor took brought them closer to something grand and perhaps even spiritual. It's impossible to enter and not feel the psychological impact of the space. Everything was created to provoke awe, to awaken a sense that the impossible is not a barrier, but a choice. There is also a hidden truth behind all this engineering. The Burj Al Arab was not just meant to be seen, but to be felt. It's a silent reminder that a nation's power lies not only in its material wealth, but in its ability to create symbols that inspire the entire world. Sheikh Mohammed knew this. He understood that deep down, each pillar embedded in that sea was a metaphor, a testament to the human courage to dream big enough to touch the impossible. Enter no Burj Al Arab, it's like stepping through a portal into another world, a world where reality seems to give way to fantasy. As soon as the doors open, visitors are enveloped by an atmosphere that blends grandeur and silence, luxury and serenity. It's impossible not to feel the visual impact. 24-carat gold-plated columns reflect the light streaming through the stained glass windows, creating a shimmering shimmer that seems to dance on the walls. The floor, made of marble imported from Italy, is polished to the point where it mirrors footsteps. Every detail, every texture, was designed to evoke a sensation, and that sensation is that of being inside a living masterpiece. Suites are not just rooms. They are hanging palaces with 2 floors connected by golden staircases that shine under soft lighting, calculated to highlight the gold tone without making it excessive. The sheets are Egyptian silk, hand-woven, and each bed seems like an invitation to a royal slumber. The Persian rugs, embroidered with geometric designs reminiscent of Arab heritage, were made exclusively for the hotel. There's not a single duplicate. Everything here is unique. But luxury isn't just about the objects. It's also about the service, the way guests are treated. Each floor has a private butler, available 24 hours a day, ready to fulfill any request, whether it's organizing a private meal under the stars or drawing a bath of petals and rare essences before bed. Outside, golden Rolls-Royces wait to transport visitors, and at the top the helipad, which has also served as the stage for tennis matches between icons such as Roger Federer and Andre Agassi, is the symbol that there, the impossible is routine. What's most impressive, however, isn't the exaggeration, it's the balance. Despite all the splendor, Burj Al Arab maintains an almost sacred atmosphere of peace. The sound of the sea surrounding the island mingles with the gentle murmur of the indoor fountains, and the air seems to carry a tranquility that belies the opulence around it. It's as if the hotel is breathing, reminding those who enter that true luxury isn't just what you see, it's what you feel. And there is a hidden truth in this contrast. Behind every golden surface and every exotic aroma, there is a philosophy. Sheikh Mohammed wanted the Burj Al Arab was more than a symbol of wealth. He wanted it to be a declaration of human ambition, a message to the world that the desert can flourish, that a nation can build the extraordinary without losing its identity. Being there is both inspiring and challenging, because the hotel isn't just about comfort, but also about vision and purpose. It represents what happens when a country decides to invest not just in oil but in imagination. When it understands that true power lies in creating something that tells a story, the Burj Al Arab tells that story on every floor, in every suite, in every reflection of golden light. Imagine waking up in a place where every second costs more than the monthly salary of many people around the world, where the simple act of opening the curtains reveals a view that seems to have been taken from a dream. The Persian Gulf, reflecting the golden light of dawn, and below a staff ready to fulfill any wish before it's even expressed. This is the Burj Al Arab, the hotel that redefined the meaning of luxury. But living like a king for a day comes at a price, and it's higher than most would dare imagine. Daily rates start around 2,000 and can exceed this 25,000 in the royal suite, a figure that defies the logic of any ordinary traveler. But what exactly does that amount by? The answer goes far beyond gold, silk, and marble. The guest pays for the feeling that time, for a brief moment, bends to your will. You pay for the absolute silence of a world that seems suspended in the air, for the comfort of knowing that nothing is out of reach, not even the impossible. Every detail was created to offer not only comfort, but a type of emotional power. The doors open automatically as guests approach, breakfast is served with panoramic sea views, and the dishes are designed by chefs who transform each meal into art. A butler is assigned to take care of every detail, from the room temperature to the precise curvature of the flowers arranged on the table. And even though everything seems meticulously planned, there's a naturalness to the way luxury unfolds. It's as if the entire hotel exists solely to make the guest the center of the universe. But deep down, the Burj Al Arab doesn't just sell experiences, it sells the illusion of eternity. In a world where time is the scarcest commodity, this hotel offers something few can. Buy the feeling that the clock has stopped. Their tomorrow doesn't matter. There's no traffic, no deadlines, no worries. There's only the present, and it's perfect. This is the essence of true exclusivity. It's not about money, but about escaping what money can't control. Still, there's something almost philosophical about this luxury. Every penny spent carries a message that human beings are capable of making the impossible a reality. The Burj Al Arab is, at its core, a monument to ambition and imagination. And perhaps that is what fascinates us most, because when we observe the contrast between the immensity of the desert and the golden glow of that structure, we realize that luxury is just a reflection of human search for transcendence. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject, because behind the shiny walls and the million-dollar figures, there is something that money cannot explain. Mentality that made this dream come true, and the hidden meaning of building something that borders on the divine. The Burj Al Arab is more than a hotel, it's a statement, a reminder that the human mind, when driven by a clear vision, is capable of transforming sand into gold, silence into symphony, and dreams into reality. Every line of its architecture, every curve drawn against the sky, carries a message that goes far beyond luxury. It speaks about mentality, purpose, and courage to dream. Big Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the man behind this vision, didn't just want a building. That would attract attention. He wanted a symbol, a mirror of what the UAE could become when faith in abundance overcomes fear of limitation. The Burj Al Arab was built to inspire, to show the world that there is no border between desert and paradise, between the possible and the unimaginable. Every square meter of that structure is a silent lesson in leadership and visionary mindset. It's not about having money, it's about having vision, because money builds walls, but vision builds empires. And that's what sets the Burj Al Arab apart from any other hotel on the planet. It wasn't built just to host wealthy guests, it was built to host the idea of greatness, to prove that the impossible is just the starting point for those who believe they can do more. Behind the marble columns and 24-karat gold leaf lies a profound philosophy, that true luxury lies not in things, but in the meaning. They carry gold isn't just gold. It's a symbol of rewarded effort, of vision turned into reality. The sea that surrounds it isn't just a backdrop. It's a metaphor for the journey, for the tides that test those who dare to build something lasting. And every reflection of light in its windows seems to say that, as long as there's someone willing to dream, the desert will never cease to bloom. But there's something even deeper to this symbol. The Burj Al Arab is a celebration of abundance mindset, the belief that there is always more opportunities, more possibilities, more space to create. It was designed to remind us that the world belongs to those who are not content with the ordinary, to those who look to the horizon and see more than sand. And that is the true message hidden within its golden walls. It's not about luxury, it's about expansion. How many times have you limited yourself because you thought your dream was too big? How many times have you looked at something seemingly unattainable and thought, this isn't for me? The Burj Al Arab is a living, breathing answer to that thought. It's a reminder that every monumental achievement began with a simple what if. What if I tried? What if I believed a little more? It's the result of a decision that began in the mind and ended up changing the map of the world. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because when we look at what this hotel represents, we realize that it reflects a universal human journey, the search for meaning, greatness, and legacy. Ultimately, the Burj Al Arab isn't just about Dubai, it's about us, about what each person is capable of building when faith and vision meet. The Burj Al Arab is more than an architectural gem. It's a silent reminder that even the desert can shine like gold when there is vision and purpose. It was born from an idea that to many seemed like a delusion, to build the world's most luxurious hotel on an artificial island in the middle of the Persian Gulf. But it is precisely this boldness that is part of Dubai's identity, a city that is not content to follow trends but rather to create them. Every inch of this building bears the signature of a people who believed that greatness is a choice, not a coincidence. While many see only the shine of gold and the reflection of lights, few realize what this symbol truly represents. It is the portrait of transformation, not just of a city, but of a mindset. The Burj Al Arab was built on one of the most unlikely terrains on the planet, and yet it defied the impossible. This is what happens when purpose, planning, and courage collide. It's as if the hotel says with every glance that beholds it, nothing is unattainable for those with clear vision and unwavering determination. Think for a moment. How many times in your life have you looked at something grand and thought, that's not for me? How many times have you doubted your own potential before even trying? The Burj Al Arab isn't just a monument to luxury, it's a monument to faith in one's own ability. He reminds us that it's not the environment that defines what we can build, but rather the strength to believe in what doesn't yet exist. Ultimately, the most valuable luxury he offers isn't the gold-covered walls, but the inspiration he awakens in those who understand his true message. The lesson behind this structure is universal. The impossible only lasts until someone proves otherwise, and that's exactly what Dubai did. In the middle of the sand, where nothing grew, one of the most admired civilizations of the 21st century flourished. Every detail of this hotel reflects this journey of persistence, innovation, and the mindset that chooses to see opportunity where others only see desert. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because the Burj Al Arab ultimately is a reflection of what human beings are capable of creating when they decide to transform their dreams into legacy. It's a reminder that abundance begins within the mind before becoming stone, glass, or gold. It is the symbol of a belief that moves nations and people, that the future belongs to those who dare to dream big. And looking at it surrounded by the infinite blue of the sea, it's impossible not to reflect on our own journey. Each of us carries a desert within ourselves, a space of doubts, challenges, and hopes. And perhaps the greatest lesson of the Burj Al Arab is this: the shine does not come from gold, it comes from vision. Now tell me, would you dare spend a night in this billionaire's paradise? What impressed you most about this symbol of luxury? Leave your comment, like if this video inspired you, and subscribe to continue exploring the world with me.